Mr. Homan!
You work for me. I'm a taxpayer. I'm a taxpayer. You work for me.
What price do you put on national security? Is that worth it?
I recommend a zero tolerance.
You better start packing now, because you're going home. He's going to designate you a terrorist organization, and he's going to wipe you off the face of the earth. You're done. You're done.
This is Tom Homan, the border czar of Trump. A hardline figure known for his uncompromising stance on immigration. With decades in immigration enforcement, Homan is a man with a plan. And for those who try to cross America's borders illegally, that plan is simple: zero tolerance.
Well, I want to thank you all very much. This is political thing. Look what happened. Is this crazy? 47th president and your 45th president.
Donald J. Trump has returned to the White House as the 47th president of the United States. After a turbulent first term and a historic comeback, he's back with a mission. And this time, he's making border security his top priority.
We're going to fix our borders. We're going to fix everything about our country.
To enforce his agenda, Trump has chosen a seasoned enforcer as his new border czar, Tom Homan. In this video, we are going to understand the rise of Tom Homan and the story behind his strict stance over immigration.
Well, I've served my country for 34 years, and yes, I know.
Thomas Douglas Homan, born on November 28, 1961, grew up in Watertown, New York. Raised with a strong work ethic and a sense of patriotism, Homan's early life shaped the man who would become one of America's most polarizing figures in the realm of immigration enforcement. Homan's journey began as a local police officer, working on the streets and learning firsthand the challenges of law enforcement. But soon, his ambitions took him into the world of federal immigration enforcement. In the early 1980s, Homan joined the Immigration and Naturalization Service, or INS, which would later evolve into what we know today as Immigration and Customs Enforcement, or ICE. Over the years, he steadily climbed the ranks, proving himself as a steadfast enforcer of the law. After the tragic events of September 11, 2001, the landscape of immigration enforcement changed dramatically. The Department of Homeland Security was born, and with it, ICE. Tom Homan's role took on a new meaning as ICE became central to America's national security strategy. Homan's commitment to enforcement did not go unnoticed. In 2013, he was appointed as the Executive Associate Director for Enforcement and Removal Operations, overseeing some of the most challenging immigration cases. But the event which brought Homan into the national spotlight was his appointment as the Acting Director of ICE by the Trump administration in 2017. The Trump administration appointed Tom Homan as the acting director of ICE. Here, he gained both admiration and criticism for his staunch defense of immigration laws and strict policies, including support for family detention and expedited deportations.
So the recommendation of the many that you recommended family separation.
I recommend a zero tolerance.
Legal asylees are not charged with any crime.
When you enter the country illegally, it's violation 8 United States Code 1325.
Seeking asylum is legal.
If you want to seek asylum and go through the port of entry, do it the legal way.
For Homan, immigration enforcement isn't just a policy, it's a mission. Over the years, he's expressed his belief that enforcing immigration laws is crucial for national security, citing concerns about crime, drug trafficking, and the safety of American communities. His commitment stems from personal experiences during his time on the front lines. Homan has often shared stories from his years on the ground, stories of individuals caught in human trafficking, drug smuggling operations, and violent crime along the border.
People need to understand, 31% of women that make that journey get raped by criminal cartels. Children get raped. I've talked to little girls as young as 9 that have been raped multiple times. These cartels are animals, and that's why President Trump's going to take them off the face of the earth. A record number of women and children being sex trafficked into the United States. This is devastating to America. We can't have national security without border security.
These experiences have reinforced his belief that without strong enforcement, American lives are at risk. Homan's approach to immigration enforcement has always been rooted in what he calls a law and order perspective. To him, the border isn't just a line on a map, it's a critical safeguard. He believes that without strict controls, America's safety, economy, and values are at risk.
This is not a resource issue. This is not, we need more border patrols, we need more money. This is a policy issue. Change the policies, and you can secure the border. We've proven that because of the investigations I've conducted in 34 years. If I shared with the people in this room the terrible things I've seen that kept me up at night, you would agree with me. The secure border saves lives.
Appointed by Trump as the border Czar in 2025, Homan has been given an unprecedented level of authority over immigration enforcement. This role is designed to centralize decision-making for border security, allowing Homan to implement policies that aim for stricter border control, enhanced surveillance, and increased deportations. In this role, he will oversee not only Border Patrol operations, but also immigration courts and asylum processes. Homan's plans involve high-tech monitoring tools like drones, facial recognition, and rapid response teams stationed at critical border points. His goal is to create what he calls an impenetrable border that will deter unlawful crossings and prevent undocumented individuals from entering the country. The focus is also on increasing detention capacity, with new facilities and partnerships with private entities to ensure that those detained can be processed efficiently, a controversial move that has sparked debate among lawmakers and advocacy groups alike. Across the nation, Americans remain divided. While some support a tougher stance for a more secure border, others view these measures as overly harsh. Especially for asylum seekers, these new framework could mean stricter eligibility requirements and fewer chances to enter the United States legally. Homan's no-compromise approach may increase deportation rates, but critics argue they could also heighten the risk of human rights violations. Homan is a polarizing figure. Some see him as a protector of national security, while others view his approach as emblematic of an overly aggressive stance on immigration. Despite criticism, Homan has never wavered from his position. His view is clear. A strict, no-compromise approach is essential to maintaining law and order in the United States.
We have seen one estimate that says it would cost $88 billion to deport 1 million people a year.
I don't know if that's accurate or not.
Is that what American taxpayers should expect?
What price do you put on national security? Is that worth it?
Is there a way to carry out mass deportation without separating families?
Of course there is. Families can be deported together.
And as Trump's border czar, he now has the authority to implement these principles at a national scale. With Homan's vision now in action, America's immigration policies are set for a dramatic shift. For some, this approach promises a safer nation, but for others, it signals an era of exclusion and division. Tom Homan's career may have started quietly on the streets of Watertown, but it quickly became a story written into the heart of American politics. Today, he's a symbol of unyielding enforcement to some and a divisive figure to others. Homan has often said he doesn't worry about being liked. He cares about doing what he believes is right. And while his methods have drawn both praise and protest, his journey is far from over. Whether you agree with him or not, Tom Homan has left a mark on America's immigration system. The questions he raises about enforcement, security, and compassion are ones that will continue to shape our national dialogue. This is a debate that isn't going anywhere. And as the lines are drawn in the sand, one thing is certain: Tom Homan's legacy will be part of the conversation for years to come.
Another message to the criminal cartels in Mexico. You smuggled enough fentanyl across this country to kill 148,000 young Americans. You have killed more Americans than every terrorist organization in the world combined. And that's when President Trump gets back in office. He's going to designate you a terrorist organization, and he's going to wipe you off the face of the earth. You're done. You're done.
What do you think? Should immigration be stricter, or is there room for change? Let us know in the comments below.